first month of the NFL season is over. I thought I would get into my NFL Power Rankings 1 month in. As we kind of get into October, you start to see teams separate a little bit here over the next couple of weeks. So thought we would do this on 4 Verts here today. Worst to first, let's get into it. The Tennessee Titans are the worst team in football. I thought it was the New Orleans Saints. We'll get to them in a moment, but when the quarterback goes up to the podium after a 26-0 loss, the number 1 pick, by the way, and says, quote, "we ass," yeah, you're bad. And it's gotten worse by the week. It's not a good situation in Tennessee. Brian Callahan is probably going to get fired. They are a really, really bad football team. All right, the Saints are also bad, but at least they're scrappy. In 3 out of 4 games, they've been competitive. They had the Bills in a 1-score game this past week until, midway through the 4th quarter. So they're battling. They got smoked by Seattle, but they hung tough with Arizona. Can't remember the other game they were close in, but 3 out of their 4 games, they've been competitive. So I give Kellen Moore, Spencer Rattler, and that team some credit for its fight. We'll see if it continues, but who is that? San Francisco is the other team. Yeah, it was really close in week 2. So it took a game-winning kick, I believe, to win that one. All right, the Jets at number 30. Oh, boy. Defense much worse than I thought. We know the limitations with Justin Fields as a passer. That was on display against the Dolphins. A lot of checkdowns. He's electric as a runner. They can run the football, but the defensive part of that component isn't there. For them to have success this year, it was be a potent running team, which they've shown signs of that, and be a really good defense. They have been a really bad defense. So, yeah, they're 0-4. Carolina at 1-3. I know they beat the Falcons 30-0, maybe the weirdest result of the NFL this season, but then they turned around and lost to the Patriots 42-13. Bryce Young does not look like he's built off that whatever finish to last year. I know people swore it was this unbelievable finish, social media's favorite quarterback, but he has not looked like that to me. From what I've seen, their defense still stinks, and I think there's a world where they're drafting a quarterback next year. All right, the worst team in the NFL is blank. Fill in the blank for us. Who do you think the worst team in the NFL is at this point? To me, Tennessee's not even close. They're not even competitive right now. It's really bad. At 28, I've got the Miami Dolphins. Got their first win of the season over the Jets on Monday night. They've played better the last couple weeks. They hung tough with Buffalo into the 4th quarter on Thursday Night Football in Week 3. They beat the Jets, so we'll see if they can find some momentum. In the end, I still think Mike McDaniel gets fired. They did just lose Tyreek Hill for the year, so I don't think they're in a great spot, but it's looking a little better than it did 2 weeks ago. Okay, the Cleveland Browns at 27. They're making a QB change to Dylan Gabriel. A little surprised they're doing it as they get ready to fly across the pond to London, but there's really no reason to play Joe Flacco anymore, and their defense has actually been pretty good. So they're probably looking at this like, well, let's not just waste this season. If Gabriel can show some life, great. If not, they can try Shedeur Sanders after that as well. That's really what the rest of this year is about, to see if one of these 2 rookies can show something in terms of being the guy long term. Okay, the New York Giants got something out of Jackson Dart. He won his first start, so that's exciting for them. Bad news is Malik Neighbors is out for the year. That's why I got them down here. I probably would have had him a few spots higher, but the Neighbors injury is a big deal. It's going to be tough for Dart to generate big plays in the passing game without him, so tough task ahead for Brian Daboll. Okay, at 25, the Las Vegas Raiders. You finally got the Ashton Genty breakout game. That's good news, but Colton Miller is going to be out for several weeks with a high ankle sprain and a hairline fracture. He's been their best lineman at left tackle. The defense outside of Max Crosby leaves a lot to be desired, and Geno Smith is throwing picks left and right. So while they're certainly a better run organization with smarter people in charge and more credible people, Geno's not living up to the billing, and they still have holes on this roster. So Raiders at 25. Bengals at 24, and I thought about putting them lower, but I'll leave them here for now. They're bad without Joe Burrow, man. I mean, you just compare the Bengals with Jake Browning when he started 7 games in 2023 to the Bengals now. The defense back then was still at least relatively good. It's kind of the last year Lou Anarumo's defense was decent. Last year it was atrocious. This year they changed DCs. It's still bad, and Jake Browning's playing worse. Without Joe Burrow, this team's got no shot, so you wonder if they make a push for like a Kirk Cousins or someone like that. The Texans at 23, I still think this is a good team. I'm not as convinced that they'll rally to make the playoffs because I think the Colts have been better so far this year, but the Texans definitely aren't out of it. They've been there and done that the last couple of years. C.J. Stroud played better last week, so if they can get him going again, that would be huge. We know the defense is dominant. Okay, the Falcons at 22. Who the hell are the Falcons? Are they the team that lost 30-0 to the Panthers, or are they the team that went into Minnesota and dominated? Like, I don't know what team this is, but the good version of this team is a playoff team. The bad version, though, is like bottom 5 team in the league. So they got to tighten that up a little bit. I got the Cowboys at 21. They've shown some life. The offense is really good. I mean, Dak Prescott's having a great year. Schottenheimer's actually gotten some production out of the running game with Javonte Williams and a little bit of Miles Sanders. But that defense is atrocious. It's almost like trading Micah Parsons the week before the season is going to hurt your defense dramatically. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. They're just bad. And you put up 40 points against Green Bay and you tie. That's tough. But the offense is really good, so I got them at 21. All right, today's show is brought to you by Prize Picks. Daily fantasy made easy at prizepicks.com/CLNS. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. I've had a lot of 2- and 3-player lineups recently at Prize Picks, and that's how it works. You pick 2 or more players, up to 6, and pick more or less on their stat projections. And if you're right, you win money. I hit a $20 to win 120 on Monday, and I'm back at it this weekend as well. Give me Dak Prescott more than 240.5 passing yards. He's been cooking recently. The Jets defense is not very good, so I like that matchup. I also took the more on Daniel Jones, 221.5 passing against the Raiders. Their defense isn't great either, and that game is indoors, so big fan of that. $20 entry to win $60 on that 2-player lineup. Check it out today. Download the Prize Picks app. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, I got the Chicago Bears at 2-2, 20th in my power rankings. They lost a tough one to Minnesota. They got blown out by Detroit, crushed Dallas, and squeaked by the Raiders. So it's been a mixed bag so far, but they got a little momentum. Bye week this week. Some key guys coming back from injury soon. Big game coming out of the bye, Monday Night Football against the Commanders. We all know what happened last year. Speaking of which, the Commanders sitting at 2-2. We'll see if Jaden Daniels returns this week or if they hold him out one more week and save him for that Chicago game. But they haven't been quite as sharp as they were. The defense is kind of mediocre, so we'll see what Washington is in a few weeks. I got the Patriots at 18. Drake May's playing really well. I think if you look at the 2024 QB class, I think this year May's been the best. Caleb's been the second best. Jaden's obviously been banged up here. In the 2 games he played, kind of had one good game, one bad game, small sample size. Bo Nix played well last night. We'll get to the Broncos in a second, but I think May and Caleb have been the 2 best, and May's been really good, especially with the pieces around him not being that good. So they play the Bills this week. Let's see how he plays against a big-time opponent. That defense isn't great in Buffalo, so I think they can put up some points. Okay, I got the Broncos at 17. They're at 2-2. Like I mentioned, Bo Nix played better this week against the Bengals, which was much needed. A, the Bengals suck, and B, you couldn't lose 3 in a row. They're back to 2-2. Their defense looked like the defense of last year as well. Nick Bonito was flying around, so if that defense gets back to playing at an elite level and Bo Nix is just solid, then the Broncos are probably a playoff team. Okay, the Cardinals at 16, they're 2 plays away from being 4-0. They've been walked off the last 2 weeks on game-winning field goals. So they're close, but close doesn't get it done. They lost a lot of close games last year too. So big couple of months coming up for Kyler Murray. At 15, I got the Vikings. I just don't know what to make of them. Their roster's obviously loaded. JJ looked bad, then he got hurt. Carson Wentz has won 1 start. He's lost 1 start. They play the Browns in London this week, and then they have a bye week. So they really need to win this game to kind of get going here. Then we'll see if and when JJ comes back, how he plays. Okay, the Jags at 14. Listen, you're 3-1, you're 3-1. Surprisingly, they've been a defensive team. Trevor Lawrence has been pretty average. They haven't gotten much out of Travis Hunter or Brian Thomas, yet they're 3-1. They are running the ball well with Travis Etienne. The defense has been good, so I think you got to feel good about that with Jacksonville. If Trevor Lawrence can get going, they're a legitimate playoff threat. I got the Steelers at 13 at 3-1. I thought they played their best game of the year against Minnesota. I know it finished up 24-21, but they were in control of that game pretty much throughout. Rodgers was just solid, kind of played point guard, just distributed the ball. And Kenneth Gainwell, of all people, ran the ball well, had 99 yards rushing. If they can get balance offensively, if they can run the football, they've got a shot to be competitive. All right, subscribe to the channel if you want college football and NFL videos every single day for free. We are the channel for you. Do not miss out this season here on Verts. We're bringing you guys content on a daily basis. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button. All right, I got the Seattle Seahawks at 12, 3-1. They're very close to being 4-0. They could have beaten San Francisco week 1. They were driving late, but got strip sacked there. But 3 straight wins. Good response for the Seahawks. Got a big game coming up against the Buccaneers this weekend, so stay tuned for that one. I got the Ravens at 11. I know they're 1-3. I know they have a ton of injuries, but their best football is still one of the best 3 teams in the league. But the question now is, can they overcome the injuries? Lamar could miss a couple games here, so they might just fall way out of it. It may not matter, but I still think if enough key guys are healthy, Matabike out for the year changes things, but if you get enough key guys healthy, if the defense plays a little better, I still think they're a dangerous team come playoff time. If they can get there, that's going to be the key. Okay, 49ers at 10. They're 3-1. Every game's close. They could be 1-3. They could be 4-0. They could be 2-2. They're not the Super Bowl contending Kyle Shanahan-led 49ers, but they do feel like a playoff team. The question is, are they a wild card team or do they win that division? Because Seattle and LA are going to have something to say about it. Okay, the Green Bay Packers, they've slipped a bit, 2-1-1. I still have them in the top 10. They still have one of the best wins on the season over Detroit in week 1. Micah Parsons, I still think over time is going to help them out a lot. But the defense against Dallas without CeeDee Lamb, by the way, was not good at all. So that was concerning. And when we look back on it, that loss to the Browns might be the difference in winning and losing the division. That is just an unacceptable loss. If you just win that game, even if you tie Dallas, okay, 3-0-1, like that's a hell of a start, but you lost to one of the worst teams in the league for no reason. Just not a good result and not a great couple of weeks here for Green Bay. Okay, I got the Colts at 8. You know, I said it earlier in the week. Even in defeat, they impressed me against the Rams. I mean, think about this game. They go to the Rams. They lose 27-20. Adonai Mitchell does the Deshaun Jackson, fumbles the ball before the goal line. That ends up being a touchback. That cost him 7 points. Okay, tie game. He also got called with the ticky-tack hold on a 50-yard Jonathan Taylor touchdown run that didn't even impact the play. That got called back. They didn't score. That cost him 14, so you should be up 7 because you lost by 7, plus 14 there. And on the game-winning touchdown for Tutu Atwell, they had 10 guys on the field on defense. Like they screwed up a substitution. So who knows? If they have 11, does the guy score? Probably not. That's a 21-point swing on stuff completely in your control. So even though they lost and even though those are killer mistakes, I'm still encouraged because if you just do those basic things, you're probably 4-0 and you beat a good Rams team on the road. The Buccaneers at 3-1. I mentioned they have Seattle this week. That's a big playoff wild card potential seeding implication game there. Tampa's won a bunch of close games. They almost rallied back to beat Philly. Baker's playing well. They're kind of sporadic throughout the game. If they can be more complete from start to finish, that'll be helpful. Got to get some offensive line pieces healthy too. Kansas City Chiefs, I got them all the way back up at 6. Listen, if you ask me today, who's coming out of the AFC? I'm picking the Chiefs. The Ravens are beat to hell. Until the Bills beat the Chiefs in a playoff game, it's hard to pick it. That Bills defense hasn't been great. I got the Bills higher. We'll get to them. But right now, I actually think Mahomes has been playing really good this year. You get Xavier Worthy back. He looked good last week. Rashee Rice is back in a couple weeks. Defense is starting to figure it out again. Keep an eye on the Chiefs to trade for a running back. Alvin Kamara, Breece Hall, Devon Achane. Don't be shocked if they make that move. If they can just get some production out of the running game, I think this passing game is starting to turn a corner here. Okay, the Chargers at 5. I had to keep them ahead of the Chiefs. They did beat them head-to-head recently. I would still pick the Chiefs to beat them in a playoff game, but Justin Herbert's played really well this year. Didn't play great against the Giants, but so far this year he's been good. Quentin Johnston has been a great breakout story for them. But, man, you lose Joe Alt now for a few weeks. Slater's already out for the year. Luckily, Alt isn't season-ending. Neither is Khalil Mack's injury on defense, but some key guys are out. The good news is, other than Slater, most of them are coming back. So, hopefully that ends up being the case and they get going again here. Okay, I got the Rams at 4. They really should be 4-0. I mean, they completely choked against Philly. They were up 26-7. Philly storms back, and they missed not 1 but 2 field goals in the fourth quarter that got blocked. That would have won the game. So Rams easily could be 4-0. Matthew Stafford played really well against the Colts. He's having a good year. Kyron Williams can run it. and that defense is pretty good too. I got the Bills at 3, despite being 4-0. I just don't trust the defense. Josh Allen's going to do his thing. James Cook is awesome, but I just, in one of these big playoff games, like, is the defense going to have that dude that changes the game? That's what's held them back against the Chiefs. They just lose these shootouts in the playoffs, 32-29, the 42-36 13-second game a couple of years back. I think that's still missing on Buffalo's defense. So they're very good. They're undefeated, but I got them at 3. Got the Eagles at 2. They're not aesthetically pleasing, but they've won 20 out of 21 games. I mean, winning is winning. I would love for my favorite team to win 20 out of 21. There's kind of some weird energy going on with A.J. Brown, but if he sucks it up, at least for this year, he can be a key piece. Obviously, they can run the football with Hurts and Saquon, and their defense is loaded. So doesn't matter how you win, it's how many you win, and they've won a lot recently. I do have the Lions at number 1, though. And I said this last year, and I'll say it again. Detroit was the best team in the NFL last year, but their whole defense got hurt. Literally their whole defense. And if they just were 70% healthy on defense last year, I think they would have gone to the Super Bowl and probably won it. Got to give these new coordinators credit. It looked ugly in week 1 against the Packers, but they've been dominant since then. They hammered the Bears. They pulled away from the Ravens in the fourth quarter, and they completely demolished Cleveland a week after the Browns held the Packers to 10 points. They scored 34 on Cleveland. So the Lions are pretty damn good. Their defense is healthy. Hutchinson looks like himself, and the offense is the offense. It's, you got like 8 Pro Bowlers on it. So I think Detroit's the best team in football right now. Long way to go, but that would be my pick to come out of the NFC. Okay, fill in the blank. The best team in the NFL is blank. I got the Lions. What say you? You guys let me know in the comment section below. My name is Harrison Graham. Appreciate everyone for tuning in to today's show. We'll be back soon with more NFL or college football content. See you then.